Good evening, everybody. My name is Dennis Castro, and tonight I'm going to be presenting my Agile Management Personal Toolkit. It's a bunch of Agile principles and practices that I've selected when I'll be managing projects using the Agile methodology. So let's get started. So the Declaration of Interdependence idea that I selected is we unleash creativity and innovation by recognizing that individuals are the ultimate source of value, and by creating an environment where they, or we, all of us, where they can make a difference. So that really spoke to me, and it's consistent with the swarm intelligence idea from complexity theory, which states that the right set of simple rules applied within a group of highly interactive individuals, that's us being interactive, generates complex behaviors such as innovation and creativity. So you hear the consistency there. Now, unleash. The operative word here is unleash, which means to remove any and all constraint so freedom is experienced. Freedom to choose, freedom to see, freedom to speak, freedom to act, freedom to be. To the freedom to create and innovate. And the foundation for that is the purpose statement. With the vision statement, we create the future through language. With the mission statement, we create a path to fulfill on that future. And with the mission tests, we have signposts along the way to see if our actions are fulfilling on the future that we created. And the tool that I like to use for that is Scrum and Kanban. Scrum is a process that ensures that iterative development, and Kanban is a system that ensures the flow of work until it all gets done and done. So we unleash creativity by insisting on releasing working software iteratively. So the importance of working software over comprehensive documentation. And the working software has to be iterative, feature-based, time-box, and incremental. Now this is the foundation of unleashing creativity and innovation. And then the idea of good enough for now, or resisting perfection. In other words, we release today, we adapt tomorrow. So what that means is that if we can release working software to the customer and it adds value to them today, then we do that and then we get feedback and make any changes in the future. So the second part of this statement is individuals are the ultimate source of value. Individuals are the ultimate source of value. We value the individual because they are, to us, the ultimate source of value. And we create value for the individual. And the way we value the individual is the individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So individuals and interactions are more important over processes and tools. And the quote that says, define the right outcomes and then let each person find his or her own route towards these outcomes. I think it's a great way to run a team. And then the idea of servant leadership. I, as your project manager, am your servant, and I lead by serving. In this photograph here, Albert Einstein says, only a life lived for others is worth living. And that's how I choose to live my life, and it's how I choose to manage my teams and the people in my teams. Now, heed the wisdom of the crowd. This is another way that we value the individual, and we release software. We get feedback from our customers, from our end users, and from our team members and our developers, and then we use that feedback loop for continuous creativity and innovation. And then ultimately, do we provide value for the customer? So customer value is the foundation for everything that we're doing here. Delighting the customer by providing what's most important and beneficial, and only what's most important and beneficial. So if it doesn't provide value for the customer, we lose it. By creating an environment is the third part of this statement. So Agile methodology is an environment. It is a created environment that we create in order to foster creativity and innovation. We have several ways that we do that by creating an environment. And the most fundamental way we do that, and the most important, is through the working agreements. We create working agreements on how we collaborate, how we communicate, and how we arrive at consensus. And if we don't arrive at consensus, then how we can take action in the face of no consensus. And then the last part of the statement is where they or we can make a difference. You know, this card here says, if your presence doesn't add value, your absence won't make a difference. So I believe that, and I run my management, my agile teams inside of that principle. So how do we make a difference, and how do they make a difference? Well, we be of service. Service is the foundation and the fundamental principle of making a difference in my book. We work for the people that work for us, for our customers, our team members, and our organizations. That's one of the agile values and principles. And then my most important part, my favorite part, elevating aspirations. So people are most creative when they are inspired and when they aspire to something much bigger than themselves, outside of themselves. Elevating aspirations. So that's my presentation. I'd like to get some feedback from everybody in this room to determine if this was valuable to you. So 0 to 4. 0 being no value, no thank you. 4 being wow, this exceeded the investment in time, thank you very much. And 2 being meh. So any questions? If there are any questions, I know I can't answer them all in this presentation, but I'd love to speak with each and every one of you who have questions after the presentation. Otherwise, you can email me at dennis@denniscastro.com. I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your feedback. Thank you very much.